Hey friends, before today's story begins, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Your support helps keep these stories alive and allows them to reach the people who truly need them. She set it in the kitchen beneath a dim yellow light that made everything look exhausted and unforgiving. You're not worth my time anymore. There was no shouting, no dramatic scene, just a simple, final statement as cold and decisive as a judge delivering a sentence. Outside, the autumn rain soaked the streets of Milan, making the cobblestones shine while washing cigarette smoke into the gutters. I remember staring at the fog on the window instead of looking at her because I knew that if I met her eyes, something deep inside me would beg her to stay. And years ago, I had promised myself I would never beg again. "All right," I replied. That answer surprised her. Elena always expected anger, pleading, arguments, or long explanations. She fed on those reactions. My calmness felt like an insult. She slipped on her designer leather coat, still carrying the faint scent of another man's cologne. "Don't wait up," she said as she reached the door. "I won't be coming back tonight." The door closed with a quiet click instead of a slam. Even while leaving, she wanted her exit to look graceful. I remained standing there long after the sound faded, listening to the old pipes groaning inside the apartment my grandmother had left me. 3 generations of men in my family had lived within those walls. 3 generations of silence, compromise, and quiet humiliation. I cleaned the kitchen slowly and carefully. That was how the men in my family survived, by turning pain into routine. Elena and I had been together for 9 years, though we never married. She always claimed marriage was a trap, yet she enjoyed the loyalty and commitment of a relationship without giving the same in return. She worked in luxury public relations, drifting through fashion shows and exclusive dinners, collecting powerful friends the way others collected expensive accessories. I restored old buildings for a municipal firm. My work was respectable, steady, and practically invisible. She used to love that about me, or maybe she simply loved how little I ever demanded. My father had been exactly the same, a good man, but a weak one. He let my mother's family control everything, where we lived, how we spoke, and even the dreams we were allowed to chase. When my mother cheated on him, he forgave her. When she mocked him, he smiled. When she left him for a wealthier man, he died 3 years later from a heart attack that everyone pretended had nothing to do with heartbreak. As a boy, I watched it all and learned the wrong lesson. Endure enough and things won't get worse. Around midnight, I poured myself a glass of cheap red wine and sat on the balcony. Below me, Milan buzzed with neon lights, rain, and endless ambition. I wondered how long Elena had been preparing to say those words. Weeks, months, maybe even years. At 1:07 a.m., my phone rang. Elena. I ignored it. It rang again, then again. Messages started piling up like cracks spreading across broken glass. "Please pick up. I need you. Something's wrong." At 1:19 a.m., I finally answered. Before she could speak, I heard her sobbing. The sound was raw, panicked, and completely unfamiliar. "Marco," she cried, holding on to my name like it was her last hope. "I don't know what to do." I leaned back in my chair while the light rain settled against my face. "I thought I wasn't worth your time." Silence. Then came uneven, frightened breathing. "He locked me out," she whispered. "Ricardo and I had a fight. My bag is still inside. I don't have any money, and my phone is down to 2%. Please, I just need your help." Ricardo, of course, a successful venture capitalist, married, father of 2. I had seen his name appear on Elena's phone for over a year. Every time I asked about him, she insisted he was harmless. At that moment, something inside me shifted. It wasn't anger, it wasn't satisfaction, it was clarity. "Where are you?" I asked. She gave me the address, a private residence near Brera, iron gates, security cameras, a life that always shut its doors once it had taken everything it wanted. "I'll handle it," I said calmly. Stay where you are. She let out a relieved breath. I knew you wouldn't abandon me. I ended the call and quietly finished my wine. I didn't go to her. Instead, I called someone else, Ricardo's wife, Sophia. We had met only twice at charity events. She was a quiet woman with observant eyes, the same kind my mother once had before she learned to stop seeing the truth. Slowly and gently, I told Sophia everything. I sent screenshots, dates, hotel bookings Elena had never cared enough to hide properly. I expected anger. Instead, there was only a long silence. Finally, Sophia spoke. Thank you. I needed the truth, not the version everyone keeps trying to sell me. At 1:58 a.m., Elena called again. This time she sounded completely desperate. Marco, where are you? It's freezing. He won't answer the door. I'm not coming, I replied softly. What? Her voice cracked. You told me I wasn't worth your time, I said quietly. I believed you. She screamed. She blamed me. She made promises. She declared her love. Even through the tears, every word sounded rehearsed. I ended the call. The consequences unfolded slowly, like winter settling deep into the bones. Ricardo's marriage quietly fell apart, and the cost was enormous. His business partners slowly distanced themselves. Soon after, Elena's career began to collapse as well. In her world, reputation was everything, and once it began to crack, it disappeared quickly. She moved back in with her mother, the same woman who had taught her from an early age that men were stepping stones, not true partners. The irony was impossible to ignore. A few weeks later, Elena appeared at my apartment without warning. She looked smaller, older, and completely lost without the attention she once relied on. I made a mistake, she said. I didn't mean what I said. I was angry. I thought about my father and my grandmother, who had spent years with a man who drank away their dignity because they believed family meant enduring anything. No, I replied. You meant every word. You just never expected your actions to have consequences. She cried. I let her. Then I quietly closed the door. Spring arrived in Milan with soft sunlight and the rich aroma of espresso drifting through open windows. I repainted the apartment, gave away the things that carried too many memories, and started therapy, something no man in my family had ever chosen to do. Sometimes late at night, I still think about that call at 1 a.m., how easily I could have gone to her, how familiar that role had once felt, and how freeing it was to finally walk away. She told me I wasn't worth her time. She was wrong, but losing everything was the only way she could ever understand that.